Note this is a bilingual fairy tale, and so some of the words are in Spanish. And I did use this glossary, though I do speak a little bit of Spanish myself. Here we go. La Princesa and the Pea by Susan Middleton Elia, illustrated by Juana Martinez Neal. There once was a prince who wanted a wife, but not any niña, girl, would do in his life. His madre, mother, was picky. She hoped for perfection. The prince was so lonely, in need of affection. But here came a maiden en route to her castle. I hope I can stay here if it's not a hassle. She winked at the prince, who fell for her fast. No matter what mom does, I'll marry this lass. Girl. The prince said, come in, but his mother, La Reina, the queen, decided to test her. Would this girl be buena, good? Mama sneaked away to the royal jardín, garden, and found a small pea that was fit for a queen. She guarded the pea pod and took to the stair. If this girl is worthy, she'll feel that it's there. She placed el guisante, the pea, in the bed for their guest. She yelled, Veinte, come here. Mattresses, lofty request. The queen settled in with her box of bombones, candies, while lots of strong workers came in with colchones, mattresses. Uno, one, was suave, soft. Dos, two, was pequeño, small. Tres, three, was muy grande, big. Cuatro, four, un sueño, a dream. Several were pinstriped, some made of fleece, others were dotted or checkered or grease, gray. The queen ate her treats. The bed was stacked high, and right when they finished, La Niña came by. Here is your cama, bed, a place you can sleep. Thanks, said the girl. I won't even count sheep. Meanwhile, El Príncipe, the prince, practiced I-do's. He knew that this maiden was one he should choose. I like her, Mama, he said with a lilt. We'll see, said the queen as she fluffed up his quilt. The girl stretched her brazos, arms, and yawned with her boca, mouth. But the bed felt so lumpy, like there was a roca, rock. The little guisante was 20 times deep. Could it be the reason the girl got no sleep? She trudged down to breakfast, her ojos, eyes, so droopy. And how was your slumber? La Reina was snoopy. Great, said the girl, if you like hard and lumpy. Oh, pobrecita, poor thing, the prince said, you're grumpy. Their guest brightened up as she noticed the lad. Really, she murmured, it wasn't that bad. Ay, oh no, thought La Reina. How'd she detect it? Is she a real princess? I think I suspect it. She signaled her son that the girl passed the test. Drat, she had managed to stave off the rest. The prince soon proposed with a golden anillo ring. They married that week in the royal Castillo castle. The queen kept her promise and threw a big boda, wedding. The bride wore a wedding gown, stylish, la moda, in fashion. Accepto, accepto, I do, they both said I do, and still to this day the queen has no clue. The prince had put pitchforks and stones in La Cama to help his true love pass the test of Queen Mama. The prince and his bride had hijos, sons, galore, one for each mattress, and then had no more. The end. And our third graders might even call this a fractured fairy tale, because in the original version of The Princess and the Pea, she feels the actual pea. So the idea is that she's very sensitive. She's a very sensitive princess. Whereas in this version, the prince helped a little bit by sticking some pitchforks and such underneath the mattresses. So an interesting rendition of a fairy tale written in 1835, so almost 200 years ago. This note from the illustrator explains that the textiles or fabrics in this book were inspired by the weaving and embroidery of the indigenous or the native people of Peru, where Juana Martinez Neal is from and where I traveled in 2006. So when I was there, I had the pleasure of watching soap being made, alpaca wool being washed with that soap, the spinning of the wool. I also saw the fabrics being dyed in a rainbow of colors. Lastly, I saw the alpaca being woven into textiles. I hope you enjoyed these photos from my photo album.